All right, shalom, shalom. All right, this is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Come with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, let's be edifying to the Lord's elect. Before I get started with this, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruchak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. You Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. But your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. All right, I want to say peace and blessings to you all. Barakatham. All right, so I wanted to go into this quick video from Arrows of Indignation, and hopefully grab a couple scriptures. Lord willing, this won't be too long. All right, so let's listen in.
Some believe the United States isn't just a superpower. It's the mystery Babylon warned about in Revelation. But is that just a conspiracy or a prophecy unfolding? The Bible describes Babylon as a powerful, rich city ruling over the kings of the earth, a nation full of immorality, witchcraft, and blasphemy, a place that sits on many waters, symbolizing influence over many nations. Now consider America. It exports culture, entertainment, and military across the globe. It leads in wealth, power, and media, but also in moral decay. It's home to churches, yet full of spiritual confusion. Come out of her, my people, so you will not share in her sins.
I believe America is Babylon described in Revelation. In one of my last videos, I talked about how the principalities are essentially preparing for a world war after that military parade in China. And I want to connect that with something even bigger, the Bible's picture of Babylon in the last days. Revelation 17:1-2 says, Babylon sits on many waters and has corrupted the nations. Verse 18 calls her the great city that rules over the kings of the earth. That sounds like a global superpower, not a small city-state. Revelation 18:3 says, the merchants of the earth grew rich from her luxury. Verses 11-13 says, endless imports, gold, silver, fine clothing, spices, even human trafficking. That's massive global trade. Then verse 10 says, in 1 hour her judgment comes, sudden destruction of unmatched wealth. Jeremiah 50:23 calls Babylon the hammer of the whole earth. That matches America's role as the world's military enforcer. Jeremiah 51:7 says, she made the nation.
All right. So I wanted to let this play all the way through, man. I just can't let it play through, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a clear cut that a clear cut case that the word has reached, all right, throughout the four corners of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And these Christians are listening to us. All right, make no mistake about that. All right, don't be confused in any way, shape, or form. This truth has reached to the four corners of the globe, man. Let's grab this real quick, man. And all these Christians are listening to us. All these Christians are paying attention to the prophets, the true prophets. You see what I'm saying? They're all paying attention to us. You see what I'm saying? Because nobody's listening to what these pastors are saying in their pulpits. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's paying attention to these hypocrites who's going out there and getting caught with little boys and little girls. You know what I'm saying? You got James White. What's his name? You got Dr. Brown. Okay, all these jokers is getting caught in scandals after scandals after scandals, TD Jakes and everything. Nobody's paying attention to the Christian church, man. Nobody's paying attention to them, man. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't have the truth. They don't have the prophecies. They don't have the answers. The answers. The answers. All right? They don't have it. Only the prophets have the answers. Only the prophets can go into these scriptures and break them down. All the things that she's saying right here, do you really think that she learned this by her Christian church? Do you really think that she learned this from anybody else? These are the very breakdowns that our apostles, bishops, and elders have taught. You see what I'm saying? When nobody else went into all this, nobody went into the hammer of the whole earth. How did she know about that precept? How did she know about that precept in Jeremiah? You see what I'm saying? How did she know about that precept in Revelation, the 18th chapter? Huh? None of these Christian churches go into the prophetic books of Jeremiah, Isaiah, Revelation. You see what I'm saying? This is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 1. It says, "The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand." Salakia. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. Okay? The world has now seen this, man. Let's go to Matthew chapter 24. I told myself I was going to let this play through, man, but I just can't do it. I just can't do it, man. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 14. "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come." You see? And all these jokers are able to see it, okay, see it all together, man. Like the scriptures say in the firmament. Okay? Right? That's another precept I want to get. You know what I'm saying? I just can't let that flow. I just can't let that flow, man. Right? This is 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 20. It says, "And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament." The books, all right, all the scriptures, they're going to be opened. You see what I'm saying? I'm not talking about these pseudo sources like the book of Enoch, the book of Jasher, the book of Jubilees, and all that garbage. No, I'm not talking about that. All right, I'm talking about the Bible. All right, the 66 books and the 14 books of the Apocrypha that were taken from it. You see what I'm saying? I'm not talking about all that other garbage that's going around. You see what I'm saying? All right, the books were opened, and now the people can see, because the prophets have been out here preaching this. You see, the 100% truth. And all these Christians are taking the breakdowns that our apostles and bishops and elders have taught us, okay? They're jotting them down and they're putting their own Christian spin on it. You see what I'm saying? "And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament." The firmament is talking about the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Which is where it's being led. This truth is being led through what? Through the internet. The internet. Okay? Along these satellites. So somebody over in China can hear this word. Someone over in Japan, all right, in Saudi Arabia, can hear this word. Over in Russia, all right, Bolivia somewhere can hear this word. You see what I'm saying? "And it shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall all see together." All the people are able to see this, because the scriptures say, "Hey, man," the scriptures say that the Lord will set forth the apostles last, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it. You see what I'm saying? Everybody likes to look at that one dude who passed, Stephen Darby. You know what I'm saying? I used to listen to that dude when I first came into the truth. You know what I'm saying? And it became clear that this guy didn't learn all the things that he was talking about, that he was preaching about on his own. You see what I'm saying? He was listening to the very prophets that he was scoffing at. You see? And he never gave credit. He never gave credit. He pretended as if he came up with these breakdowns on his own. You see what I'm saying? And then what did he do? He went on to say that the mark of the beast is not this subdermal device that we all see that's coming, that the prophets have been warning about since the 80s. Okay? So yeah, man. Let's let this lady finish it out. I'm gonna take it back a little bit.
Earth. That matches America's role as the world's military enforcer. Jeremiah 51:7 says, "She made the nations drunk with her influence." Exactly what American culture and politics and entertainment have done. Verse 13 describes her as rich in treasures and living by many waters, again pointing to a wealthy, waterboarded nation. Verse 53 says, "Even if Babylon ascends to the heavens, God will bring her down." America claims to have gone to the moon first, even though, that's a whole nother story. But America still dominates the whole space program. Isaiah 47:7-8 describes Babylon saying, "I am, and there is none besides me. I will never be a widow or suffer loss." That's pride. That's invulnerability. That's America's mind. And Habakkuk 1:7 says, "This nation is feared and dreaded, a law to themselves."
When did these Christians start going into the book of Habakkuk? When did they start learning about the book of Habakkuk and Micah, all right, and the book of Haggai? You see what I'm saying? All right, when did they start learning about this? When did they figure out that those books were in books were in the Bible? You know what I'm saying? When did they start learning about that? All right. When you ask the Christian, you know what I'm saying, all these jokers that go around on these podcasts and whatnot, and they go with their microphones out to the streets and they say, hey, name me five books of the Bible outside of the first 5 books of Moses. And nobody can actually give an answer. Nobody can give an answer. Nobody can list 5 simple books outside of those books. I mean, come on, man. You ask the Christian that went to church for, let's say, for 35, 40 years, you know what I'm saying? You ask that Christian name 5 books, they'll say Genesis, they'll say Psalms, they'll say Job, they'll say Revelation, they'll say something like Matthew. All right, that's all they know. That's all they know, man. Okay? That's all they know. So this is not coming from I was listening to the elder, the priest. I was listening to the priest Mahalaya earlier this afternoon, or earlier this morning, excuse me, and he was diving into this video too. You know what I'm saying? It was like, man, come on, man. Spirit's not dealing with this chick. Spirit ain't dealing with her ass. You see? All these jokers are listening to the prophets, man. All of them. They're all listening to the men of the Lord. But let's let her continue.
That's the picture of a superpower that makes the rules for the rest of the world. Now, some people say Babylon has to be Rome because Revelation 17:9 says the woman sits on 7 hills. And yes, Rome was historically called the city on 7 hills. But here's the thing. In prophecy, mountains and hills often...
The Bible says that the woman sits on the scarlet beast, all right, with 7 heads. 7 heads and 10 horns. Right? Let's get that real quick. This is Revelation chapter 17, All right, 17 and let's start at verse 3. All right. Because like Elder Yashawamba says all the time, you know what I'm saying? It's the prophets through the spirit that's galvanized all these Christians to start blowing the dust off their Bibles and shit, you know what I'm saying? Taking them off the shelves, taking them out of the cupboards, you know what I'm saying, and opening up for the first time in decades. You see what I'm saying? All right. But hey, that's just to let you know that we in the last days, man, for real, for real. This is Revelation 17:3. It says, "So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns." All right, 7 heads. When you look at the beast, all right, that beast here is speaking about America. All right, it's speaking about the all right, or shall I say the empire, okay, that it reigns. Okay? Those 7 heads are the previous empires that came before. Okay? The previous empires that came before, you got Greece, you got Rome, okay, Greece, Rome, Germania Major, Germania Minor, you got France, Spain, and Great Britain. And out of Great Britain came what? All right, out of Great Britain came America. Okay? So this is that whore and the beast that she sits upon. Okay? And the 10 horns out of those 7 heads is going into the EU and NATO. Okay? The EU and NATO. And then you read, all right, you can read the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, and it breaks these nations down. It breaks these, or shall I say, it breaks these kingdoms down. All right? Because at the end of this thing, you know, the great powers that are in authority, they're going to break away. They're going to start being weakened, all right, due to infighting, due to the fact that they can't agree. All right. Verse 4 says, "And the woman was arrayed with purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication." Right? So let's jump down to verse 11. Jump down, verse 10. It says, "And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space." And America is at the end of that short space. All right? America is at its end of that short space. In 2026, it'll be the 250th year of America's inception, you know what I'm saying, as an established nation. And, you know what I'm saying, hey, man, like the elder Apostle Tahar says, all right, I can't see another 5 years of this place. I just can't see it. You know what I'm saying? I just can't see it. Everyone's losing their jobs. Everyone's you know, turning against the government more than ever. People are able to see that these people, these politicians that they trusted in, they're all they're all bowing the knee to another nation. I just did a video this morning, okay, talking about how Pete Hegseth is asking for, you know, these people to trust them with their greatest resources being their children. Like, who in their right mind thinks or talks that way? You see what I'm saying? But the people are about to turn on this place. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be infighting. It's about to be civil war. It's about to be world war. All right? All kinds of skirmishes, man. Right? Verse 11, it says, "And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7." Okay? America is the children, excuse me. America is the child out of those 7. America comes, you know what I'm saying, in the shadow of Rome. You see what I'm saying? That's why when you ask all these people if they think about Rome, the Roman Empire, they all say yeah, because they can see all the things that are reminiscent of what was going on in Rome. Okay, what happened in the pagan Roman Empire? You know what I'm saying? They devalued the currency. That's happening today. You had fast food over there in ancient Rome. It's happening here today. You had bread and circus in the form of the Colosseums. You have that today in the form of sports, NFL, so on and so forth. You see? The same thing is happening today, man. Right? The Roman Empire, the centurions and all that, they was spread abroad. They were spread too thin. The same thing is happening here today. The military is spread too thin. You see? Verse 12, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. You see what I'm saying? Again, EU and NATO. All right? It says, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords, and King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, where the horse sitteth are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. You see what I'm saying? All these nations that were conglomerate with America, okay, and gave their power and might, you know what I'm saying, in one accord, are going to turn against her. That's in Obadiah. You see what I'm saying? These Christians never touched on Obadiah. They never touched on Hosea. Right? They never touched on Joel and Amos. Get real, man. Obadiah 1 and 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Okay? Let's continue.
Represent kingdoms or seats of power. So the 7 hills could symbolize a coalition of world powers, or the 7 continents, pointing to a global reach rather than a single city. And if you look at the context, Revelation isn't describing a small religious city. It's describing the economic superpower of the world, one that merchants cry over when it falls, one that holds military dominance, one that spreads its corruption across the nations. Rome today does not fit that. The Vatican has influence, but it's not the hammer of the earth or the center of global trade. Others say it's Iraq, pointing to ancient Babylon. But Babylon there is ruins, and nothing happening in Iraq today matches Revelation's picture of global influence and sudden collapse. When you line up Revelation, Jeremiah, Isaiah, and Habakkuk, the wealth, the trade, the military, the cultural corruption, the pride, the sudden destruction, America matches all of it. So this...
Yeah. And I was listening to a video from a lesson from Elder Apostle Ramlab, and he was going into the fact that, you know, tradition cannot overstep scripture. You know what I'm saying? I think that's how the lesson was titled. Let's see if I can get that real quick. Bear with me. All right, so yeah, so this is the apostles' lesson. It says traditions do not trump scripture. Okay, it's a little over an hour long. If you can sit and watch, you know what I'm saying. All right, take your time and watch, because the elder apostle goes into some heavy points, all right, where he was having a discussion with ChatGPT. And the thing about ChatGPT is that the way that it's programmed, you have to pretty much checkmate it, you know what I'm saying, in order for it to give you, all right, in order for it to give you the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to checkmate it because it's heavily programmed to support these tiny tops. You know what I'm saying? These people who call themselves JOOs, man. Right? So, let's get another video real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, these Christians have been listening to the prophets, man. All right. So let's go back to Arrows of Indignation. Let's check this one out.
The cashless society is coming sooner than we think. Okay, they have been preparing for this for a long time now. If we remember back in 2020, what was going on, and people were going crazy over toilet paper, people were going crazy over the sickness, to the point where the government came out with a jab and said, if you don't get this, you can't work, you won't be able to eat, you can't pay your rent, and people were folding under pressure. That was a test for the mark of the beast, because they want to see how far can we go that people will fold under pressure, that if we tell them, if you don't get this, you can't go to work, you can't go to school, you can't pay your bills, you can't eat, you won't be able to do this. And guess what? People who didn't even want to get it got it and folded under pressure, because they said, well, how am I going to eat? How am I going to do this? How am I going to provide? How X, Y, and Z? Now,
who was telling you? All right, who was telling you that this whole situation in 2020 was a stress test? Who told you this? All right, who was out there, saying these things and having their channels being clipped left and right and center? You see what I'm saying? It was the apostles, beginning with we the prophets, beginning with our apostles, bishops, and elders. Okay, we were saying this. All right, that they were testing the waters. And then we said the same thing right when they was in the midst of doing this whole situation with the EBTs and whatnot. Okay? Hey man, these Christians is listening to the prophets. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm cool with. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with it. All right. Either way, the word has gone out. All right, so let's take it back a little bit.
You can't eat, you won't be able to do this. And guess what? People who didn't even want to get it got it and folded under pressure, because they said, well, how am I going to eat? How am I going to do this? How am I going to provide? How X, Y, and Z? Now, the same thing goes for what just happened in November. They did another little test run with the food stamps right before the holiday. They took it away, and they wanted to see how are the people going to react if we do this. What are they going to do? What are they going to say? And people went crazy. People were going crazy over the fact that food stamps wasn't there, and how are they going to do this and how are they going to do that, relying on the government. Now, also, if you're living in New York, which if you aren't, it's probably coming to a place near you. After this year ends, next year on the bus, you can't pay with change anymore. You have to tap. You have to tap only and use whatever's left on your Metro card. Now, also, a week ago or so, they just made the last penny. They're going away with pennies. If we don't see that they're coming to a cashless society, I don't know what else is going to show you that they are trying to take away cash. And when they do that, they're literally preparing for this mark to come out, the mark of the beast, because with the mark of the beast, you won't be able to buy or sell without it.
100% correct. 100% correct. 100% correct. And why can't you camp leaders see this? Why? Just like the brother titled his video. Regular people in Babylon can see that the MOTB is coming, but not you other camps. You got to be compromised, man. There's no other explanation for this, man. No other explanation. You got to be compromised. You see what I'm saying? This woman has heard the prophets, man. All right, she's heard the prophets. She's 100% correct. And if no other brother has claimed this woman, I claim this woman by Hashem Hamashiach Yahushai. You know what I'm saying? Because it's about to get hot and heavy out here, man. All right, and like the apostle says all the time, when this thing hits, when this mark of the beast is mandated, when it's mandatory, and you can't do nothing, you can't go nowhere, you can't buy nothing. All right, without this thing, we're going to start to see all these other camps start to fold. All right, they're going to start to lose it, man. All right, they're going to start to lose it. But let me let's listen in a little bit more. She's almost done. All right. Now I'll give one more precept. Bear with me.
You won't be able to buy or sell without it. The mark of the beast, there is no coming back from it. And I tell you, saints, it is time to get ready and prepare for what is to come, to endure to the end, to stand firm in your faith, that no matter if you can't eat, you can't sell, you can't buy, you can't work, you can't this, you can't that you stand firm in your faith, that even death comes right to your face, that you do not fold under pressure, because they're going to say, get down or lay down, and what are you going to do? And as a saint, you need to lay down your life for Jesus Christ. Don't get down, because there's no coming back from the mark of the beast, and you will not be able to enter the kingdom of heaven with the mark of the beast. Get ready, because Jesus Christ is coming soon. All of this is coming very soon in Jesus' mighty name.
Right. Well, she goes off with that whole Jesus juice. You know what I'm saying? She goes off with that. His name is Yahushai. All right. His name is Yahushai. And you know, a lot of people are gonna be calling on that false name in those days, man. In the days that's coming, and it's gonna be bad for them. It's gonna be bad for them. You know what I'm saying? All right. If you're listening to the prophets, take heed to what the prophets are saying. 100%. Don't play games. You know what I'm saying? Don't have one foot in here and the other foot back in, over there in Christianity. You know what I'm saying? That's not how it works. It's not how this works. You see what I'm saying? The Lord sent his prophets for a reason. The Lord sent his prophets to emphasize his name for an absolute reason, because the scriptures tell you, all right, in Zechariah chapter 13, all right, verse 9, that what? That the elect would call on his name. The elect would call his name, the correct names. The prophets are here, the true prophets are here to tell you what the names are. The Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh. 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 And his son's name is Yahushai. 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 You see? And it's very important, it's deathly important that you understand that. And you call on those names, man. All right? People may not understand that now, but very soon you will. Very soon you will, man. So let me get two precepts. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 9. It says, "For I think that the Most High hath set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were appointed to death. For we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men." You see what I'm saying? All right. We, the prophets, beginning with our apostles, bishops, and elders on down, we have been made a spectacle to the world. Everyone has seen us. Everyone has seen us. Everyone knows what we look like. Everyone knows what we teach. You know what I'm saying? They know they have been listening to the breakdowns. They've been taking these things down, writing them down. You see what I'm saying? All right. Just gave you two examples. Both of these women have heard the prophets, man. You can't tell me otherwise. Because no one else outside of the prophets are saying these things, breaking these things down to complete the right way, man. All right? No one else is talking about this MOTB, the way that the apostles, all right, and bishops on down are talking. You see? So it's apparent at this point that these people are watching us, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you're listening, you know what I'm saying, get your act together now, man. All right? Let go of this whole Jesus Christ stuff. Let go of all that stuff. All right? And get it together. This is Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33. It says, let's start at verse 32. It says, and lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song, right? In 1 Corinthians, what do we get? It says, for we are made of a spectacle unto them, right? So again, Ezekiel 33 and 32. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song, of one that hath a pleasant voice, and can play well on an instrument. For they hear thy words, but they do them not. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. So call halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Wakaha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone of Mark Ronan and his Truth Under. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.